Also, women are trying to take the power away from men as well to make women feel like that. Because let's be honest, the people that actually make women feel like that and bad about it is the men.
Cap.
Yes.
Cap.
Men are the shamers.
Cap. That's cap. That's cap.
So it's like we're stripping men of that power by empowering the women.
So you don't judge sex workers? Well, the women not judge sex workers.
Yakani lento yokupromote ubuqwayizi nibize nge-feminism. Feminism yokunoka yini epromothwayo la? Ingane encane ehluphekayo ekungekho udla kubo ayifundeni la. I-body count ephezulu akuyona nje into enhle futhi angeke zibe yinto enhle. Ukuqwayiza kuhlangane nokuvila phakathi. Ngeke uhambe uvule icaphu uvelela wonke umuntu nje ufuna ukuhlonishwa. Kusasa ufuna ukuzibiza ngo-10 out of 10 kodwa kade ugijinywe irenki yonke.
When I first saw the show, I was a bit excited because now I thought that they were gonna show sex work and what it means.
Yeah,
Sex
and
work
its dangers and
dangers
everything,
behind
the
it.
reality behind sex
Yes.
work, and not actually glorifying sex
So
work.
I was excited for that. I thought they were gonna show all of that and then discourage people from
Yeah.
getting into sex work.
Uh,
But what the show turned out to be was a glorification of sex work,
yeah.
and I was not happy about it.
And almost an encouragement like to get into sex work.
My thing is, what was the point of the show?
So the whole point of the show, I believe, is to take away all stigma, stereotypes, and all of that is attached to sex work, right? And of which, let's be realistic, all the stigma and stereotypes that they are fighting are not necessarily untrue stigmas and stereotypes. They are real. But it's just like everybody else, you want to be proud of your profession, right? You want to be proud of what you do. You want people to accept what you do. You want to be accepted in society for what you do. There wouldn't be prostitutes if there weren't a demand for prostitutes.
Yes, sex work is as old as man itself. Sex work has always been there and
Yeah.
it will always be there.
Yeah.
But now, this whole glorification of sex work
It's
is
kind of making it mainstream. Kind of like
sex work is mainstream now. Prostitutes, strippers, OnlyFans models, IG models, all these people here, they've turned sex work into a mainstream thing.
it's kind of become part of the baddie identity,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Because even it girls are now being seen as sex workers. Yeah, women just try to make themselves feel better by shifting the goalpost. Like, for example, instead of calling yourself a prostitute, you call yourself a sugar baby
Yeah.
or blessee or...
Yeah. And like even what we saw there, like on the show, like sex workers fighting amongst each other because one feels like they're better than the other. Strippers felt they are better than porn stars, and porn stars feel better than hookups and things like that.
Even amongst the sex workers, there is classism in that. So some might feel better because they're not actually physically sleeping with the person. Like those people that do
Videos.
sex cam,
So yeah,
webcam work is. Those people that do webcam work feel like they're better than prostitutes because they're not sleeping
Yeah.
with the people.
But let's be honest, on the outside, you kind of view all as
Sex work is sex work. Like you're selling your body to get money in return.
So now the fight is why it's kind of been made to be a part of feminism, if you get what I mean. Because it's attached to so many things like body positivity, like they call that body positivity, like, you know, being free to be sort of naked in public, and it's no longer shunned upon. Things of being naked in public were exclusive to sex workers. Like that's something that you exclusively saw just at with sex workers before.
Little girls, when they watch these things, how would a little girl be affected by watching something like this?
Oh, well, it can affect them negatively and positively. The negative, I'd say, is it's promoting it. It's making it like, look, it's so glamorous, especially because people are not being real and are not being honest about these things and are not giving the raw fact. Let's be honest. I mean, in as much as they were talking about getting the bag, they didn't look like they were getting much of bag.
Yeah, they didn't.
You know, exactly. So it's like talking about OnlyFans, a video blowing up, or a video blowing up, what nani. But way. Well, you might as well have just done a normal job as a waitress or something like that, and not have to take off your clothes and not have to go through all of that drama that goes with it, and all of that stigma and all of that isolation, alienation, everything that goes with it, right? Because let's be honest, we can never fully take those things away into fact. You're always going to be shunned upon. If you decide to do sex work, if you decide to have sex on camera and for the whole world to see, and you monetize that. And then I would say the positive would only be representation.
Not everything needs representation. Well, this whole thing of promoting sex work or prostitution is bad. It's bad. I want to make that known that it's bad. For example, there are two very famous porn stars recently. Mia Khalifa is one of them, and I forgot the other one. They came out and said that porn has literally destroyed their lives. They can't hold a relationship down. If there's this other porn star who I think she was she was making the most money in the porn industry at some point. She said at some point she couldn't even leave her house. The way she was being judged and being looked at and all that stuff. Yeah. So initially when she was younger, she didn't care about all those things, but when she got older, it really started to affect her. So people need to be very aware of those kind of things before even considering
getting into sex work.
OnlyFans has been glamorized and has made things seem...
You sell your soul and you get nothing in return.
You really get nothing in return. It's only a few people that really make money.
Yeah. And even them, to be honest, they would openly say, oh, wow, this is great. It makes me, it's really sort of bettered my standard of living. And, but you'll always hear in their chat that they're not happy. I don't know. There's just like more limitations for them as well. Like, not being accepted in society, being judged. And, especially with people with children, this is really bad. I mean, we saw in the show, Usamge was fighting almost all season long that she wants to give full custody of her kids to the fathers of her kids, because she knows what comes with being a sex worker and being a child of a sex worker. And all of that is just not something that she would want her child to go through. Think of that. That is the risks that you take. That is the position that you put yourself and your loved ones in going into that field.
You literally destroyed your reputation and your dignity for money that won't even last you a sustained period.
Yeah.
So it's really not worth it at all. The person that I respect in this was CM Bougie. Mac G asked CM Bougie if this whole thing that they're doing is worth it. And she said no. If she had the chance to, she wouldn't do it again. But now that she's in it...
You kind of have to own it, to be honest.
Sex work should be a last resort, honestly. It should be a last resort. It should be...
But that's the thing. They probably feel like they are there at last resort. The easiest way for women to make money is opening their legs. Because there'll always be a demand and a man that's willing to pay for that.
And that's my problem. It's the easiest way.
It's a guaranteed way.
But it's you lose too much.
Also, women are trying to take the power away from men as well to make women feel like that. Because let's be honest, the people that actually make women feel like that and bad about it is the men.
Cap.
Yes.
Cap.
Men are the shamers.
Cap. That's cap. That's cap.
So it's like we're stripping men of that power by empowering the women.
So you don't judge sex workers? Well, the women not judge sex workers. You judge yourselves more than we could ever judge you. Women judge themselves more than we can ever judge you. Y'all can't even wear the same outfit twice in 1 day or 2 days, whatever, because y'all turn. It's not men that's making y'all do that. It's y'all. Y'all judge yourselves way more.
But okay, I don't lose value because another woman is judging me.
Sex work is bad. If you've ever seen like sex workers or prostitutes, if you've ever seen them and looked at them properly, especially these prostitutes that have been doing this for a long time, look at their bodies. Just look at how they look.
You think the body wears out?
Very quickly. A prostitute that might be in her late 20s, you might think she's in her 40s now. Because everything is sagging, and even the skin's looking off, and there's mouths everywhere. You know, this one.
Yeah.
It's just, you're losing too much. There's too much going on. It's too much going on. And then on top of that, you have to deal with sicknesses.
Absolutely. You expose yourself to that. I mean, there's not safe enough in those things. And it's like, it's just, I think it's an industry that's probably infested with illnesses. But it's like, hey, you're not going to hear about that. They're not going to tell you about that.
Tell you all that stuff. OnlyFans is bad. Sex work is bad, guys. Let's not kid ourselves. Sex work is not good. You're sacrificing way too much.
With not much return.
Yeah, for too little. You guys let us know what you think about this whole situation.
Yeah. Are you in support of it? Do you think it's a great thing? Or do you really think we should not be glorifying things like sex work and not have shows that actually glorify it?
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you for watching. Bye.
See you in the next one.